it's your local dragon lady here. This evening I was just relaxing in a nice bubble bath playing Duel Links until I noticed that the ban list has been updated. It was probably updated earlier today, but I only opened up the app tonight, and so naturally I had to quickly get out and get all dried up and do a video. So let's go to the Forbidden, Limited, and Skill Balance. So it turns out some of the skills may have gotten nerfed, I don't know. So let's see here about the skill rebalancing. Forbidden, Limited. Yes, I want to go to the Forbidden list first. Oh. Okay, so first of all, we got the Gem Knight Lady Lapis. I never used this card, and I don't think I really went against anyone who used it against me, in all honesty. Huh. Well, it's probably a good thing. But Koa Key, the Diamond Core Koa Key, has now been limited to 2. This entire time we were allowed to have 3. I did play Koa Key a while back when it was still fairly new, and man, like that was an insanely OP deck, and they did nerf Maximus to 1, which to me was a good idea. Amazoness Swordswoman is now limited to 2. Well now I found her annoying, but not impossible. Says here, Amazoness decks have been in the metagame in one form or another for a very long time, so we're limiting this deck to promote deck diversity. Now, here's the thing. I know that it's an Amazoness card, but you don't need to play an Amazoness deck to abuse this. I've used it in stall decks. The most commonly known, you see people play as Weevil or Insect or Haga, and they use this Insect Parasite skill. They use Lava Golem, use Amazoness Swordswoman, so it's you don't need Amazoness to really abuse her. Okay, Iron Core Koa Key Mario is no longer on the list. But you know what? That kind of makes sense. Now here's the thing. Yes, the Koa Key Mario deck itself was OP, but people were using cards from the deck in unconventional means. Like, for example, like I've seen people mix Koa Key with Blue Eyes, or Koa Key with Dark Magicians, or anything else really. And the primary card that people like is the Ice, the Koa Key Ice. All you gotta do is once he's normal summon, you can discard a card and you can destroy a special summon monster, which, let's face it, like, it's a lot of monsters. And the Diamond Core basically allows you to search it out, but you know, to me it makes sense. If you're going to limit the Diamond Core, unlimit the Iron Core. So I do think this is more fair. It does make it more balanced. Now, when it comes to the deck in general, I'm not really sure what this means. I don't really play Koa Key Pure that much anymore, but this is going to be very interesting. So, it looks like that's all there is. That's the only changes for the cards. I'm impressed that Red Eyes didn't get any hits, but there's plenty of good easy ways now to take down Red Eyes Black Dragon. I've been experimenting with a few magic cards in my deck, and yeah, it just murders Red Eyes. So, okay, so skill rebalancing. What have they done with the skills? Mask Tribute. Okay, this skill has been used in ways other than summoning the Mask Beast, so we have restricted its use. Okay. I can see what they're going with this. Apparently Mask Tribute was being abused in Subterrors, and this happened a lot. So, you know what? I mean, I wasn't really calling for this, personally, but I am glad that it has happened. Subterrors are... Initially, it was Red Eyes was getting out of control, but that's not so bad now. There's cards that can easily combat that, but Subterrors is becoming an issue. My main method around sub-terrors is to occasionally swap out cards for Burst Stream of Destruction. I actually made a video showing how you can abuse that card against sub-terrors, but the trick is that you have to go against that deck to really get full use of that card, so it's not going to be a guarantee each time. Parasite Infestation. This skill has been used excessively in many different types of decks, affecting players' enjoyment of the game. So we have decided to restrict its use to insect-type decks only. Whoa. Okay. All right, now that's a skill that Weevil has. Essentially, what it does is it puts the parasite in your deck, one or two of them, and face up. And of course, once you draw into it, it special summons itself to your side of the field, and it burns you for 1,000. So. Okay, I'm sure this annoys people. I mean, that skill has annoyed me. I mean, I never use it, but it doesn't annoy me when it's used against me. But I never found it broke the game. I mean, yes, it annoyed me, but it didn't make me rage quit or anything like that. I mean, there are numerous ways you can get around it. I mean, probably the easiest way I got around that skill is by having my field full of cards, face down defense position or face up attack. Like, as long as your monster field is full of monsters, once you draw into the parasite, its effect can't activate. It just destroys itself and goes to your opponent's graveyard. I've had that happen many, many times. So, no, I found that didn't really affect me all that much. I mean, sure, getting burned for 1,000 damage is a lot, but I've always been able to get rid of it one way or the other, primarily by having my field full of monsters to begin with. But if it did get special summoned to my side of the field, I'm often able to tribute it to get rid of it. So it's like, I'm a little surprised by this. I'm surprised. I never thought that skill would get nerfed, and it's almost useless right now, because there's not a lot of decks out there that exclusively uses insects. You need to use, I think, like 3 or more for it to qualify as an insect type deck. So no, I'm not going to see that. Like, you're not going to see this anymore at all. 3 Lord Pillars. Okay, I don't even know what this is. We are changing the skill. As with the current effect, you can greatly increase the chance of drawing specific cards, including 3 copies of Spiritual Lord and Sky Lord in your deck. Okay, I think 3 Lord Pillars was released with the new character in GX. But personally, I have not used it. I'm not exactly sure what it does. I haven't really went into it to see what it is, but if this is a brand new skill that was released, for it to get nerfed this quickly, this must have been a huge deal. People must have been able to abuse it early on. So I'm just going to trust Konami on this. Updated skills, so yeah, the Mask Tribute. So return one card from your hand, then randomly play Tiki Elder. After using the skill, you cannot normal or special summon any monsters other than Masked Beast Deus Gradius until the end of your opponent's turn. This skill can only be used once per turn and twice per duel. Okay, that's an effective nerf. That's going to be really, really helpful now to tone down the sub-terrors. I mean, it's a very strong deck on its own. So nerfing the Mask Tribute, I don't think it's going to make sub-terrors unusable, but I think it definitely will make them more manageable. So I'm really happy about that. Yeah, 1 or 2 parasite cards are added to your opponent's deck face up. Skill will activate if you begin the duel that has 4 or more insect type monsters with different with different names. I was thinking it has to be 3 or more, but it has to be 3 or more with different names. Okay, yeah. Alright, Parasite Infestation, I declare that useless now. Because as far as insect decks are concerned, especially with different names, there's not a lot of good ones out there. So, Dragon Lady says, Parasite Infestation is no longer a threat, not even to annoy you. So that skill's dead now. Absolutely dead. 3 Lord Pillars. If your deck contains both Spiritual Lord and Sky Lord, a duel, yada 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 yada. Again, I'm not overly sure what that skill is. It's brand new. I never bothered to look into it. but I'm going to trust Konami in this. If it's nerfed this early in the game, it must be bad. It must have been really bad. Okay, so that is the changes that will occur. So, what do I think overall? Okay, when it comes to the cards, not very much was changed, but I like the changes for the Kowa key. They did nerf it, but they kept it balanced. I do think having only 2 diamond core is fair, while unlimiting the iron core. Amazona Swordswoman, I mean, it was an annoying card, but it never caused me to rage quit. I mean, I used it a couple of times, but hey, I'm sure there's a perfectly good reason why they limited the 2. At least it will give me less effort to get rid of them whenever my opponent uses them against me. And the skills. Yeah, still surprised by the insect infestation, but again, I'm sure there's a good reason for it. It annoyed me, never made me want to rage quit. I've always been able to get around it, but I guess there's duelists out there that took big issue with that skill. And I think Subterrors now are going to be more manageable to beat. I don't think they're going to be in the top tier anymore because of that nerf. I don't think they're going to be tier 0 anymore, maybe tier 1 or tier 2. Still a really strong deck. Still makes me nervous sometimes to go against it, but trust me, while it is difficult, it is not unbeatable. So, if you play Duel Links, what do you think of these nerfs? Not a whole lot with the cards, but a lot of changes with the skills. So let me know what you think in the comments below, but however you play this game, always remember to be a good sport, to play the game, not the fame. See ya! Thanks for watching! If you like what you see, subscribe and be sure to click on the bell for notifications. You can also check me out on Facebook. The link is in the description below. Happy dueling!